Tony. Hi,
Hello?
Tony. Can you hear me? Tony,
Hello,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, champ. How are you?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear?
Yes, I can.
I'm okay, thank you.
Welcome to the press room of the 58th Annual WBC Convention.
Okay, children.
I think you're a little choppy. Let me see.
The
It's
Is this connection better?
there. Tony, can you hear me? Tony, not if you could hear me. Anchi, ¿me puedes escuchar? Champ, can you hear me well?
Hello, yes. Can you hear me okay?
Okay. I can hear you now.
Hear you.
Welcome to the press room of the 58th Annual
Okay.
WBC Convention. I don't know if you can hear me, Tony.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I can hear you, yes.
You can hear me? Yes?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay, champ. Welcome to the press room of the 58th Annual WBC Convention. How are you doing today? Tony, can you hear me or you hear someone else?
I can hear you, yes.
So we have some questions here from the press. They're going to be sent with how this is going to work. The press is going to be sending me the questions and I'll be moderating the chat. But first of all, how are you doing? How's your family doing?
It's a pleasure. Great to be here. I'm doing okay. Happy and, still cracking on and everything is going really good.
And everyone's staying healthy in your family, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get
Okay.
started. I
My
Yeah,
signal says it's very good here. I'm not sure about your guys' internet signal.
I'm on Wi-Fi,
Try
so
again.
it's very good.
Uh, is this one any better? Is this any better? No.
I don't see you on the screen, champ.
Okay. I can see you and hear you fine.
Okay. Okay. So I'm glad I could hear you at least, and
Okay.
welcome you to the 58th annual WBC convention virtual. This is the first time we ever do this, so we have the press asking questions here on the chat, and
Okay.
I already have a bunch of questions.
No problem.
First of all, I do want to let the people know Tony is our emeritus champion. Emeritus meaning he is a champion forever. He's a champion for life for everything he did inside the ring and outside the ring. And for that, Tony, I want to thank you for all the sacrifice you did to dedicate to the sport of boxing.
Well, thank you very, very much. The proudest moment of my whole career was lifting that WBC world title. It meant so much to me. It was a dream come true. The only belt I ever wanted to win in boxing was the WBC. I chased it at light heavyweight at 175, and then I chased it at 200, and thankfully I was successful. But yes, the greatest night of my career by miles ahead of everything else. So I'm very happy, very proud, and the fighters that I look after now, I aim for them guys to be chasing the greatest belt in boxing, which, in my opinion, is the green and gold of the WBC.
Yeah, and the green and gold looks great on you, always.
Thank you very much. That is very flattering. But yes, as I say, for me, the greatest fighters in the world have all held the WBC, and they've all been proud holders of that belt. And there's fighters like, the great Roy Jones Jr. and many others as well. Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. All these guys, they chased that green and gold belt, and I was just one like them. I had dreams and aspirations to lift that amazing belt, and thankfully I did in my career.
And you brought up Mike Tyson. I bet you heard about the Mike Tyson's versus Roy Jones Jr. fight. How do you feel about that
I
exhibition?
did. I did. I'm happy and I'm sad. I'm happy because I idolize both of these guys. Mike Tyson is one of the biggest reasons I got into boxing as a kid, and Roy Jones Jr. I believe, in my opinion, is possibly the greatest fighter to ever put on boxing gloves. I think he was the best fighter of all time when he was in his prime. I really do. I believe that spell that Roy Jones had at from light heavyweight all the way to heavyweight defeating John Ruiz was phenomenal. And I don't think, if Roy Jones Jr. would have retired after he defeated John Ruiz, I believe he goes down as the greatest fighter of all time. But he didn't. He carried his legacy on, and now he's here. We're, facing the former baddest man on the planet in Mike Tyson. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to want to see it because it's Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. So no matter, it wouldn't matter to me if they were 60 years old in a pair of slippers and pajamas and PJs. I'd still want to see these two legends go at it. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same, let's be totally honest, as these guys going at it time for time. But I'm not going to lie, I'll still pay and I'll still tune in and I'll still watch them. And hopefully, the both guys, the main thing is they both come out safe and put up a great show.
Yeah, definitely, and the undercard too. Well, I wish this was my interview with just me and you, but it's not, and I have to do my job and moderate.
No problem.
I have press from Argentina and all over the world asking questions. So I'm gonna start asking you the questions that are being sent to me. Okay?
No
So
problem at all.
so this is Osvaldo Principe from Argentina TV. Hello, Tony. I remember you. You gave me an interview in the WBC convention in Hollywood, Florida, 2016. What do you think about boxing in these pandemic times?
I, boxing is struggling with the pandemic at the moment. We are now getting live shows back in England and the USA. I help the Matchroom brand. I'm an ambassador for the Matchroom brand, and we are trying to put on as many shows as possible. But as we all know, it is very, very hard with the current situation that we are all going through. But what I will say is, first and foremost, this is also a great opportunity for the fighters. What I will say to them is they got to all be in shape, prepared to fight, and I believe this pandemic can create new superstars that the sport has been missing. We already have our well-known superstars, as in AJ, Canelo, Tyson Fury. You know, we have the big names in and amongst. We need some new blood now. You know, we want to see the other fighters, the women, to another level now. And I think it's fantastic. It's over in England. Mason to side of things. W will it's tough in this pandemic. But
You were cutting off a little bit, Tony. Can you hear me, Tony?
oh, sorry. Now.
Okay, there. I can
Yes.
hear you. I can hear you again, and I have to agree with you 100% with what you said, for the reason that you're not you're not gonna have the same um, luxuries as you did before in boxing, because when you're in the bubble, whether it's Matchroom, PBC, Top Rank, whatever, you're not gonna be able to get out and get what you need. Once you're in, you're in. So you better be in shape. The fighters have to come in shape to fight. Now I have a question from Osvaldo. Your opinion on the best British of all time champion? Who was he? Or she?
And that's the
Tony, let me know when you can see me and hear me. They say there's 3 windows. Tony, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Tony, can you hear me?
It's
No?
breaking. It's breaking up a little. I can hear you, but it's breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, you were breaking up. I can hear you again. Um, I don't know where we left off, but basically, yeah, the fighters have to come in shape. And someone asked, um, who, in your eyes, who is the best British boxer of all time? Who was he or she? Did you hear the question, Tony? I don't think he can hear me at all. I should put headphones. Okay, we're having technical difficulties, I think, here. Um, Tony, let me know when you can hear me, please.
I can. I think I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay.
Can you
I'm not
guys
sure if
hear
you heard.
me?
Yeah, I think I hear you a lot better now. So I don't know if you heard this question from
Okay, that's
Osvaldo.
better. I didn't quite catch that last question. Sorry.
Okay. So who, in your opinion, who was the best British boxer of all time? Did I lose you again?
That's a very good question. Uh, I would probably go for. No, it's okay. I've got that question. I'm trying to think because this is a very good question. I would say of the modern generation, you maybe have to look towards someone like Lennox Lewis or Joe Calzaghe.
Mm-hmm.
Or in if you're talking about all time, there's an old fighter from the old times who was amazing. His name was Ted Kid Lewis or John Conti.
Oh wow! I bet a lot of boxing fans are gonna go back and Google those names if they don't know them, right? Let's go to the
Did you
next one.
guys catch that okay?
Yes, yes, perfect. I can hear you perfect now. Can you hear me? Okay, Tony. The next question is, how is life after boxing? Do you miss it?
Yes, definitely.
Tony?
That's great. Yes, I can hear you fine. That's
Okay.
fantastic. Oh, massively. I miss boxing every day. Uh, I'll- yes, I can hear you okay.
Okay.
I miss boxing every day. I wish I could carry on fighting until I was 50 years old. But I've given boxing 25 years of my life, and now I have to focus on my children and my wife and being a father. That is the most important thing now. I enjoy helping other fighters to educate them, save them money, look after the finances and the well-being. But for me now, I feel fighting may have passed unless there's a look at a heavyweight championship at a world fight. Maybe. Never say never.
Never say never. The next question is, what was the process of acting and then becoming a world champion? Did did it affect the people you see publicly? And would you go back to acting?
Did you guys get all that okay?
Yes. There's a little delay, Tony. So that's why you're getting the things maybe like 30 seconds later.
Hello?
Were you able to hear that question I asked you, Tony?
Can all you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
How,
It's like we're looking at each other's eyes. Tony, can you hear me?
uh, I suppose. Uh,
A ver, háblame, Pepe Toño. A ver si te escucho. Babe, let me have the earring real quick. Oh, I'll get it. No, he's sideways. Oh my
Sorry.
God. Okay. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you great.
Yay! I think we finally got it. It cannot be awkward anymore. Tony, you're making me
How was that?
nervous here.
I
Okay.
think so. This Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, I'm
I was
sorry. Apologies.
okay. So we were talking about you acting,
The Wi-Fi here is terrible.
really, about you acting and then becoming a world champion. Did that affect the way people see you publicly?
Yes.
In what way?
I suppose people think sometimes that I'm something I am not. I am just a normal guy. I'm the same as everybody else out there. I just happen to be really good at punching people in the face. And that was the only difference between me and everybody else. Uh, I don't class myself as any different than a normal man in the street. I'm the same as the street sweeper. I'm the same as the boy working in McDonald's. I'm the same as the guy who works just a 9 to 5 job out there. It's just that fighting was my chosen profession and something that I love to do. And acting or winning world championships or winning all the titles, it didn't change me. I've always remained grounded, and I just try and pass on some of the lessons that I've had to learn the hard way in life. So, as I say, I'm nobody special. I am exactly the same as all you guys. Just what you do doesn't define who you are, and what you have done doesn't determine the person you should be. So, because I've been a world champion, it doesn't mean I am better than a person who hasn't. I am no better than him. I was just maybe a little bit more determined. I persevered a little bit more, and I carried on trying, and I never gave in.
You know, it's so funny you say that because Don Jose Sulaiman had one of my favorite quotes that he used to say is, never look up at a king and never look down at a shoe shiner. We're all the same. and a lot of people fail to see that, but I'm so glad to hear those words come out of your mouth. It just makes me respect you even more as a human being. We're going to go to the next question
Exactly.
from Rob. Hi, Tony. How do you see Dillian White versus Alexander
Thank you
Povetkin?
very, very much. It's very, very true what he says. You know, nobody is better than anybody. We are all human beings. I have never seen race, color, or creed. I am mixed race myself, but you know, there is only, regardless of religion, regardless of color, regardless of creed, there is only one race in the world, and that is the human race.
I
Okay.
agree.
I believe it's a really good fight. I believe Dillian White has been a really much improved fighter these last few years. Since his loss to AJ, he's bounced back. He's defeated many, many good fighters, former world champions, former European champions, and he's been exemplary in since that defeat. So I think this is a big test against Povetkin. But I also believe Povetkin is not the same fighter that he was in 2017 and 2018. I believe he's a lot more vulnerable now, and I believe Dillian White will see him off and probably get rid of him inside of 8 rounds.
So thanks, Boxing. So
Dillian is just too big, too strong, and he's on the cusp of something really big. I do believe that.
what? Okay, this is from Rob of Boxing Social. What fight are you most looking forward to this week, Tony, and why?
There's a number of good fights on, so I wouldn't single out any individual fight. The card I'm most looking forward to, obviously, is Povetkin and Dillian White. I think it's a terrific fight. But then you also have the Unified Championship of Katie Taylor against Delphine Persoon. So, that's a fantastic rematch, which I'm looking really forward to. There is a number of clashes at home, and there's a real genuine 50-50 card that matches we're putting on in the garden this weekend coming. But they're all domestic fights, so they're no one that the WBC will be aware of. But going forward, we have some fantastic bills coming up. And obviously with the number of WBC international contests and various things like that. So I'm looking forward to them, and I can't wait to see. There's a guy called Felix Cash who I'm looking forward to watching next week. He is facing a guy called Jason Wellborn, and that's a fight that most people are looking forward to over here domestically. But as I say, you guys won't be aware of these fighters, but I'm pretty sure Felix Cash will be a name that you guys will be hearing in the future.
Well, we'll keep an eye on him for sure. Felix Cash. And now with Luke Campbell versus Ryan Garcia looking close to being finalized, how do you see that fight playing out? Ya no está Tony. Pepe Toño, ¿me escuchas?